And then, of course, you've got your malware. So you've got things that will just come in on the back of downloading something else. So they're called Trojan horses because they sit on the back of another piece of software. So you might download a PDF off a site that's perhaps not one that you should be on. And on the back of that, they will put some software that will come and install itself, and it will sit for that 146 odd days and just watch and see what you're doing. You've got adware, so you know all your cookies. So all the sites these days, as fast as the government tries to stop people from putting cookies and stuff like that on, people find a way around it. So now whenever you go onto a website, you have this big message that says, you know, we use cookies to help your user experience, but you can't get onto the site properly unless you accept the cookies. So it doesn't get round it, it just means that you're aware that they've put them on there. But that then tracks where you go, tracks your usage of different websites, will keep putting adverts up in front of you for things that it thinks you want to buy. Spyware is similar, but it's just watching what you're doing. And of course, the good old-fashioned, the one that we all know about, viruses. So a lot of people have antivirus software on their machine, but they don't all have anti-malware. So there are a lot more companies now producing anti-malware software, and you need anti-malware as well as antivirus, not just the one. You need both these days as a basic. So why do they do it? Well, fraud is one very clear reason why cyber criminals put these hacks in place. Child grooming is another one, and it's a horrible one because that's where they're using apps like EchoSec to find kids where they go to school so that they know where they're interacting, who their friends are, they know who they talk to, because they can see the Snapchats, they can see the Instagram posts, they can see the Twitter feed, they can see what gets put on Facebook, and then they pretend to be somebody they're not. And they gain trust because they act like a friend would act. Surveillance. So from a corporate point of view, keeping an eye on what your competitors are doing, watching people where you shouldn't necessarily watch them, hacking into CCTV cameras and seeing where people are and tracking them. Financial theft. So there's, you know, an increasing amount of that, not just for businesses, but also personally. And my friend's daughter was in a bar a few months ago, handed a credit card over to pay for some drinks, and they'd had a bit to drink anyway, handed the credit card over, and was given back a different credit card. She wasn't given back hers, she was given back somebody else's. By the time she'd realised and she'd gone back to the bar to get her card back, they cleared her bank account. So it's not just business, it's people at home, it's us as individuals. Espionage. There's a lot of talk at the minute about how much of an impact the Russian government had in the American elections because of engineering what appeared on people's particularly Facebook feeds. So all that kind of espionage, spying, making people make decisions that perhaps they wouldn't otherwise have made if they'd have had the whole truth, not just a skewed picture of it. That's a big game now for big countries. And no, it shouldn't happen, but yes, it does. And just ordinary pure theft. You know, if somebody knows where you are and they know you're not going to be home and they know what car you've got, or one of the common ones is bikes. You know, a lot of senior people in businesses like to play sport or do some kind of sport. So a lot of them cycle. So they use Runkeeper and things like that, and their Garmins to track where they've been. So what they'll do is they'll post up on Facebook the route that they've taken round. But where do you start when you cycle? You're home. Where do you finish? You're home. You're proud of your bike, so you take a picture of it. So they now know that you've got 1,000 £100,000 worth of bike sitting in your garage and where you live. They know when you go out to work, they know when you come back, so they know when the best time to commit crime is. So it's very easy for them to get into our mindset and take whatever they want because we kind of give them that information. So theft, again, is a very easy one to commit. And then cyber warfare. With things like drones obviously can fly quite low. They can get into places other devices can't get to. They're unmanned. They've already developed drones that have guns on them. Who's watched Terminator? It scares the living daylights out of me. If we let governments free, we let them loose with that kind of technology, where on earth are we going to end up as a society? But the technology is there. When people are at war, when countries are at war, the biggest loss is the human loss, isn't it? Because we have to send soldiers in to fight. If they can find a way of not sending soldiers in to fight, cyber warfare will become a big thing. That is not good for us, I don't think, as a race at all.